6 out of 10 South Africans are jobless today, and nearly 30 million live in poverty according to the World Bank. And since the ANC has governed the country since, 1994, a lot of people in South Africa understandably blame the party for these problems. Aside from the problems already mentioned, many in Western Cape have become disillusioned with the national government's continued use of race-based policies. Under the law, regulations set racial employment quotas in 18 sectors across all 9 provinces of South Africa. The law greatly increases the government's control over the economy. That being said, the ANC claims the law helps give disadvantaged populations greater access to economic sectors they previously didn't have access to. In particular, the law's proponents argue that due to the lingering effects of apartheid, many black South Africans still have issues with socioeconomic mobility. And so, the Western Cape's consistent opposition to the ANC, coupled with its distinct approach to governance and economic management, laid the groundwork for the modern Cape independence movement. This movement initially aimed for greater autonomy, believing this would reclaim a sense of agency over the province's future. Over time, however, as the movement gained traction and government scandals continued to mount, many instead began to believe the Western Cape can better fulfill its potential and address the needs of its residents as an independent entity, the so-called Cape Republic. That being said, the ANC and other critics have accused supporters of Cape independence of being racist, saying they want to resurrect apartheid-era policies. It probably is worth mentioning here, Western Cape is a racially mixed province. Anyway, in October 2023, the Cape Referendum Alliance, a group of pro-independence organizations, set an ultimatum to Premier Alan Winde, urging him to call for a referendum on independence or for him to ask the President of South Africa to call one. Not unexpectedly, the Premier refused. As a result, a new single-issue party, the Referendum Party, was formed to keep a DA-led Western Cape government but force the issue of a referendum. Supporters of Cape independence claim that in 2023, according to polling done by Victory Research, 68% of Western Cape voters support organizing a referendum and 58% favor the province's independence. Now, I think it's worth mentioning Section 235 of the Constitution of South Africa states, "The right of the South African people as a whole to self-determination, as manifested in this Constitution, does not preclude, within the framework of this right, recognition of the notion of the right of self-determination of any community sharing a common cultural and language heritage, within a territorial entity in the Republic or in any other way determined by national legislation." However, the qualifier to this right states that any such self-determination would occur within a territorial entity in the Republic or in any other way determined by national legislation. That being said, the South African Constitution makes it clear that both the Bill of Rights and the Constitution itself must consider international law. And since 1994, South Africa has ratified 3 international covenants which guarantee the right of self-determination to all peoples. Thus, the right to self-determination has been proposed as a route for creating a legal framework wherein the Cape could secede from South Africa.